I got something special for you guys today. Castle Made of Sand from the Sick Boy Deluxe Digital Download. Shout out today stays anonymous. I was really shocked when I saw the support that I received on Patreon through this particular individual, very kind person who wanted to support me, support our channel, and asked me to check out this version by Ren. And I was told that the Samurai Champloo, I hope I'm saying it right, Shiki no Uta, is where that sample track is from the ending credits of an anime called Samurai Champloo. And I just want to check out a sample of this real quick because I think that probably would put things into perspective. Okay, so supposedly that sample track, if I understood correctly, is from the ending credits of that anime. And yeah, let's see what Ren does with this sample.
I was baptized by the heavens, I was walking in the rain. On a cloudy night in Brighton, I was deep inside my brain. My tracksuit felt so heavy with my pockets full of pain. I wish this was a one-off, but this story is the same as the day that came before this, the day that came before. Command C, Command V, copy and paste the day. The skies are grey, my Nikes thread through puddles, lace the rain. It dances by my face and as it lands it detonates. A perfect hit, coordinated, executed, carry troubles on my back. My legs, they get so tired cause my troubles, they are stacked like they're Jenga. And then when the feelings hit like influenza, I just quarantine the struggle cause it's not on my agenda. Push it down, don't wanna deal with it, don't wanna feel that shit. Still I drown, man on a sinking ship, man with a big gold chip up on my shoulder. Man, I'm feeling so much older, why this road looks so much colder? Why am I carrying this boulder? Why have I carried it for miles?
Guys,
I'm fucking miles.
I'm gonna rewind a bit. That sample track is beautiful, by the way. I love what he did with it. It flows beautifully. And I love the cadence flow Ren is applying here. Oh my goodness, from the staccato to the more melodic, to getting really into that almost reggae-like feel, flowing with it melodically and rhythmically. The bars, we'll talk about the lyric art, the word smithery in just a second. We'll talk about the lyrics, but it flows beautifully. This is a piece that I feel like, while I'm sure the lyrics are heavy, and we'll dive into those and the psychology behind it in a second, what's standing out to me right now is just the way that he's flowing with his rap, the cadence flow, and how smooth this goes. This is one of those tracks that I feel like is deep as what anything Ren does, but it's also this track that could just be playing, like you're just vibing to. They really just enjoying a musical piece you just can enjoy.
Like that Jenga, and then when the feelings hit like influenza, I just quarantine the struggle cause it's not on my agenda. Push it down, don't wanna deal with it, don't wanna feel that shit. Still I drown, man on a sinking ship, man with a big gold chip up on my shoulder. Man, I'm feeling so much older, why this road looks so much colder? Why am I carrying this boulder? Why have I carried it for miles? I'm fucking miles, I'm out on trial. Tell me Lord, I'm out on trial because it feels like it's a sick joke. I've been sick for half my life, I'm sick, you're feeling sick, quick pop a blister, stop the fight, like
This track is hype.
I was scolded by the heavens, I was walking in the rain. On a cloudy night in Brighton, all I seem to feel is pain. I zip right up my jacket so my soul, it don't escape. It wants to break right out my body, but I don't hold it to blame. I lay awake on aching nights, I contemplate and hate my life, just staring at an empty ceiling cause it reflects what's inside. I can't cry no more. Deeply did my store, asking why am I in this war? Why'd you hate me, Lord? Why do you I fall from, I feel broken, smoke until I'm ill. Let the pot rot my brain, watch it kill me soft like Lauryn Hill. Fuji's life's a movie, I'm Clooney, driving a stolen Suzuki right off the edge of a metaphorical hill. Kill your brain cells, kill your old self, kill your good health, kill the coroner. I am a foreigner, inside my body a warrior, worrying warrior, inside the corridor, inside my mind, Holocaust. No support for these scary thoughts. I struggled in trouble, I'm struggling double. I'm doubly troubled by all of the struggle, the ruin, the rubble, the hustle, the bustle. It buckles my muscles, I fuck on my knuckles. I'm deep in the bubble, but it's a puzzle. utterly muddled and mixed up and puzzled and perplexed. Not perfect, I'm perfectly complex. My purpose and perspective pessimist defected. I'm so goddamn bored. Lonely metaphors that I write, they don't vindicate all the pain that's poured on my life. I disintegrate. Castles made of sand, they are white from the surface of this earth, and their impermanence is enlightenment. At least I think that's what it is. I don't know.
That is sick, boy. Oh my, see what I did there? That is nuts. Wow, Ren. My word. That track was legit. And I loved what they were doing, from the echo to reverb, just the way that everything flowed. To me, while the lyrics are very, very, very profound, and he did it again with his word Smithery, I feel like at first, just listen, what pulled me in the most was the way that you can just ride that track and feel it. This one, I feel like every Ren song you feel for some reason. I mean, they're crying or laughing or dancing too, but the track carried me in a way that I could just be playing this as I'm cruising down the street. There was something fun and lighthearted to it, which is such a contrast to how deep and painful the lyrics are and how honest and raw. We'll talk about those in a second. The second thing that stood out to me is his flow. He does this every so often. Some songs obviously heavy more on the vocalization and showcasing his vocal abilities. Other songs we may be so consumed by the music video and the theatrical elements and the storytelling that you really have to slow down and pay attention to not just what he's doing with his literary art. I know I talk about that a lot. Oh my goodness, look at that alliteration and this rhyme scheme and the double entendres. There's a lot of wordplay. But just talking about his ability to rap, that is not easy. It is really more than just rhyming words together and doing so on beat and in rhythm. Ren is very good at flowing with the beat and still making it his own and changing it up constantly. And I love that. Whenever I see or find a rapper who can do that, where they can show us just how they're bringing in the staccato, we got the crescendo with the way that things are getting more dramatic, not just in the sense of thematics and the lyrics or the video or the beat, but also with the way that he's using his voice, right? There's so many things you can do with your vocal box, from the way you're opening up to the way that you're bringing in grit, the way that you're bringing in vocal fry. Singers do this. You can do that with rap as well. The way that you enunciate certain vowels and consonants, the way that you break a word apart. I mean, we learn these things in school, right? Syllables and breaking words apart as we're clapping. But that's all art, literary art. And he's doing it so beautifully, not just with the kind of word art that he uses, but with the way that he breaks a word apart, the way that he enunciates, the way that he pronounces a certain word or ends on a certain vowel, the way that he flows. And now, like I said earlier, going into the rhythmic and going into the more melodic and bringing us that, like that soulful vibe, back to just Busta rhyming it up in here, where he's going hard and he's going fast. The alliterations and all the blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. Even that in itself, there's a reason why psychologically we're drawn to that type of stuff. Because even as kids, right, we try to measure ourselves and compete against one another with who can say a certain tongue twister, right? Sally by the seashore and buckle up, brother Bill, because a bunch of bad boys became a bunch of better boys behind a big, big smile, right? This idea of, let me try to say something fast. Let me try to say something that would twist my tongue and see if I can say it 5 times faster, if I can say it faster and better than the person next to me. Psychologically, there's something intriguing about the challenge of using our mouth and using words and sounds to create something funny sounding, something crazy sounding, something intriguing, doing it faster, harder, better. And Ren is just so good at that in his rap. It's this beautiful ride that is not boring at all. There's constantly something where you don't know what's going to happen next. And then the lyrics, as usual, castle made of sand, right? When he's speaking of the rain and the baptized by the heavens, walking in the rain, I'm cloudy in Brighton. It's so fitting to this. It's painting a picture. It's so fitting to this idea of something that is going to come crashing down, because we know of those stories. There's even scriptures, religious texts that speak of don't build your house on sand, right? We know of the story of the pigs and the wolf, where when the house wasn't built sturdy, the wolf came, blew it down. This idea of a castle made of sand, something that may look pretty, that may be fun for a few seconds, but then will come crashing down the second the wave hits, the second the rain pours down. And he's really personal here, speaking about what's going on in his brain. My tracksuit felt so heavy with my pockets full of pain. Beautiful, beautiful art here. And it's so fitting to even his most recent pieces with Vincent's Tale, as we're all speculating on where this is going to go. And we're seeing nods to an artist, Vincent van Gogh, who also struggled with mental illness, who also went through very deep hardships in life, but also created beautiful things. Sometimes things that were even more appreciated after he passed away. Thankfully, Ren is experiencing some of that fame and exposure, rightfully so, in his lifetime, but it's still a person that is going through hardships where some of us, unless you know Ren's story and his health conditions and his struggle, which he has been very open and vulnerable about, sometimes we see people and we see their skill and talent, and unless you know, you may dismiss it as, oh, this is just a talented person, or, oh, this person got lucky and they're famous. And we underestimate perhaps, for one, just how hard they worked to get there, but also the pain that they're going through, that it's really not all just glory and uphill once they make some money or once they get some views. And I just love the wordplay here. Like I said, he goes crazy. I mean, this could be a whole class. Honestly, taking Ren's lyrics apart could be a class. Maybe should be like a college class. Command C, Command V, copy paste, right? Because that's how you copy paste in a computer. Copy and paste the day. The skies are gray, right? I'm going through the motions. My Nikes tread through puddles. And he's talking about tracksuits and Nikes, which is fitting to what he wears in his some of his videos and what some of his style represents. Like they're Jenga, and when the feelings hit like influenza. Jenga, that game where you have to push a block and you were trying to avoid the construct from collapsing. Like feelings like hit like influenza. A lot of references to physical health, but also that double entendre, because it hits you just as feelings would. It's not only physical pain, it's emotional pain. I just quarantined the struggle because it's not on my agenda. Wow, this is crazy good, right? Again, medical terms, but also pointing out it's not on my agenda. I didn't plan for this. I didn't see my life going this way. Push it down, don't want to deal with it, don't want to feel that shit. Still I drown, man, on a sinking ship. Man with a big gold chip up on my shoulder. Wow. Feeling so much older. Why this world looks so much colder. I'm carrying this boulder. I've carried it for miles and effing miles. Am I on trial? Tell me, Lord, am I on trial? To me, this makes me also think of Job in the Bible, in the Old Testament, the Tanakh, where it speaks of this man who was righteous, who experienced all kinds of terrible hardships and asked God these questions, and then, met with his friends and they had their certain ideas about it. But it's this person who was saying, man, is this a joke? Why am I suffering like this? And it hurts my heart for him, because this is not just a little cold. This is not just someone who has a little bit of a headache once in a while. And there are a lot of people like that who are really hurting physically, mentally, where it is not just get over it. Oh, take a pill. And sometimes that's part of the problem, right? Being told, oh, you just got to take a pill. Or, even in therapy sometimes, as we saw in Sick Boy, people that would make us feel cold, that approach it in a cold way, or like, let me just, like you're a textbook, like you're just another diagnosis, another textbook. And we need relationship. We need people that are going to sit with us in that. And that's hard to come by in the physical pain and the mental and spiritual pain, for someone to not try to throw a quick Band-Aid on it or dismiss it, for someone to be willing to embrace just how bad this is. And sadly, even sitting with the person going through that mentally, physically, in any way is not going to make it go away. But it's better than treating people like a number or a textbook or a diagnosis. I zip right up my jacket so my soul it don't escape. It wants to break right out of my body, but I don't hold it to blame. And then he just keeps going. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I feel broken, smoking till I'm ill. That is crazy, because fee, fi, fo, fum. Fee, fi, fo, fum is this idea, is often what is said by those giants, like in Jack and the Beanstalk. This giant who sniffs the air and declares he smells the blood of an Englishman, which is crazy because Ren is an Englishman, a Welshman. But it's this giant of stillness that's coming after him. I feel broken, smoking till I'm ill. Let the pot rot my brain, right? And now, watch it kill me soft like Lauryn Hill. Strumming my pain with his finger, killing, telling my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly. with his song, telling my whole life with his words. Crazy, beautiful. And then talking about the Fuji, as in Fuji Life's a movie, the Fuji film, but also Fuji like the Fugees, because Lauryn Hill and her band and her group, Killing Me Softly, Lauryn Hill, but Fuji as in the band, but also Fuji like the film role, Life's a movie. I'm Clooney driving a stolen Suzuki, reference to George Clooney, the movies, right off the edge of a metaphorical hill. Okay, this beautiful picture he's painting, double entendres, literary art galore. Smoking pot, right? Trying to get rid of the pain. And the thing that's supposed to help you is now rotting the brain. Kill your brain cells. And that is a reference to in song Murderer. I'm a foreigner. I'm a foreigner inside my body, a warrior, worrying warrior inside the corridor, inside my mind holocaust. No support for these scary thoughts. I struggle in trouble. I'm struggling double. I'm double trouble, but about all of the struggles. Crazy. I mean, come on. The rhymes here. The ruin, the rubble, the hustle, the bustle. It buckles my muscles. I found on my knuckles. I'm popping the bubble. It's a puddle. I'm subtly muddled. Oh my gosh. A puddle, subtly muddled. Beautiful double entendre. Puddles are often muddy, but also feeling muddled. Mixed up, puzzled, perplexed, perfectly complex. My purpose and perspective, it's defective. I'm so god dang bored. Lonely metaphors that I write, they don't vindicate all the pain that poured out on my life. That part got me. Because even here, we're seeing all this art. We're seeing this beautiful picture being painted in this honest conversation, and it still does not vindicate. It still doesn't do justice all the pain. I disintegrate. Gosh, what a painful word. Castles made of sand. They are white from the surface of this earth, and their impermanence is enlightenment. My gosh. Impermanence being the state of something or the fact of lasting only for a limited period of time. So to say impermanence is enlightenment. And that makes me think of existential theories when we talk about death and pain and suffering and life and anxiety and how it's all related. And how that idea of transient, that we're transient beings, and sometimes accepting that, staring at the sun, as Dr. Irvin Yalom says, when it comes to death anxieties, embracing that we're going to die, dealing with it, dealing with how much that affects how we operate, that sometimes can lead to enlightenment. Sometimes that can lead to peace, to a degree for some. But the impermanence is enlightenment, their impermanence. And that's powerful to me, because on one hand, he's talking about all this pain and the rain that washes away this castle of sand. And, it's this maybe moments of feeling good that are washed away, moments of pain, this constant wave of pain that keeps washing away his castles of sand. It can be taken both ways. The castles of sand being those moments of happiness washed away by pain. It can be a picture for the pain, this constant, everything just comes crashing down because of the pain and his physical ailments and mental struggles, but also then to look at the impermanence, the transiency of said castle made of sand. Not only the pain and the suffering, but also then looking at that impermanence and saying, I find suffering in impermanence because things don't last, because everything keeps changing, because this wave of pain keeps coming in my life, this castle made of sand keeps crashing down, that there's pain in that. But accepting that things are also transient, that things will not last forever, can also be enlightening and comforting. So it's this beautiful way of an honest and painful conversation about all the suffering. Why, Lord? Why am I going through this? This is just how deep my suffering is. But then also to say, understanding that it will pass, that things don't last forever, can also be enlightening. Depending on how you look at it. At least that's what I think it is. I don't know. And then that honest ending, because when it comes to philosophy and existentialism and our looking at pain and suffering and life and joy and the transiency, the impermanence of things, it's all theories, right? And some of it brings us peace. Some of us makes us even more stressed out. So to end with, at least that's what I think, I don't know, is also another way of being so honest about life. And I appreciate that a lot. What do you think about this one? Subscribe to Ren if you haven't yet. Follow him on social media. Subscribe here too, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!